These are realistic training exercises designed to prepare the Navy's powerful surface and air units for their individual and team combat functions. Will our personnel, so thoroughly trained, and our weapons, so precisely designed, provide the necessary effectiveness if and when the need arises? Short of actual engagement, the most effective yardstick to measure combat readiness is a realistic target. The Firebee is available for surface-to-air or air-to-air training and evaluation exercises. This highly authentic, simulated aerial threat assures the requesting command a thorough test of weapon system readiness. The Firebee is one of the Navy's most advanced and versatile aerial targets. The request for Firebee services through normal channels is received by the local fleet representative, where details of the operation are finalized and schedules prepared. The operational planning finalized, the target service squadron will prepare primary and secondary Firebees to meet mission requirements. Designated the BQM-34A, the Firebee jet target is designed for either air or ground launch. The target squadron has elected to air launch the target for the first mission and to use ground launch for the second mission. In the target squadron hangars, the mission profiles for the operations are reviewed, necessary equipment is selected, and the targets are prepared. An L-band radar beacon and TWT radar echo enhancer may be used for electronic identification and to offer a realistic tracking target for interceptor ground control. Prior to each flight, the BQM-34A Firebee is thoroughly checked in full operation. Calibration tests are conducted on all internal drone systems by automatically and accurately testing each individual function for proper operation. This go, no-go tester accepts or rejects each check and visually displays the test progress. A ground engine run-up is conducted to check for proper operation of the J-69 T-29 turbojet engine and electrical power supply. For this operation, Firebees are suspended from launch racks of specially equipped DP-2E aircraft. The DP-2E carries two targets, one on each wing. This provides a backup if the primary launch is aborted or another target is desired. After careful pre-flight checks of the target installation, the launch plane takes off for the mission. Prior to launch, the flight control system is tested by direct control in the launch plane and by radio commands from the remote controller. The recovery system is checked for a normal and separate emergency command operation and for automatic parachute sequence initiation upon loss of command control radio carrier signal. Following pre-launch tests, the engine is started, checked for proper operation, and the Firebee is launched at approximately 15,000 feet altitude and 200 knots airspeed. After drop-away, the remote controller assumes control, commands increased thrust, and directs the target through sharp climbs, dives, and turns as necessary to put it on station for the mission. The Firebee takes up designated course at any desired altitude to 60,000 feet, and flying at near sonic speed, presents itself as the aerial target system for a critical evaluation of our modern missile weapons readiness. In the BQM-34A, electronic components control its functions and make it a realistic enemy. Targets scheduled for air-to-air heat-seeker missile operations are normally equipped with pyrotechnic flares to provide infrared augmentation. For the scheduled surface-to-air mission, the target squadron will ground launch a second Firebee. To provide launch thrust, a solid propellant rocket motor is installed and aligned. When fired, the motor will develop 11,300 pounds of thrust for 2 2/10 seconds before detaching and falling free of the flying target. A pre-launch check of all drone systems is conducted. With the target positioned on the ground launcher, the exhaust deflector is engaged and locked. Upon completion of the pre-launch check, the rocket igniter is installed, firing circuits are closed, and the launch pad secured. The Firebee's turbojet engine is started, accelerated to proper speed and operating temperature, and checked. Engine thrust is increased to launch velocity. Ignition connectors are retracted, and the Firebee is ready for launch. The remote controller assumes immediate control. The Firebee again assumes a mission profile on the prescribed course at a designated speed and altitude. Aboard ship, activities are progressing at a rapid pace for this operational readiness test against this modern and sophisticated friendly enemy. The Firebee offers an extremely versatile radar augmentation system to simulate a true skin echo. The target's traveling wave tube augmenter simulates any desired reflectivity area, ranging from small fighters to large bombers, by amplifying and retransmitting the received signal with all the reflection characteristics of the specific radar type. In this critical test, ship missile crews quickly exercise realistic combat readiness and seek out the role of this friendly intruder. Instantly, the intricate electronic practice missiles zip to their launch rails and react to this very realistic simulated aerial threat. And with as much as 90 minutes flight time available, the Firebee may be kept on station for additional tracking or firing runs. Passing within lethal distance to the Firebee, this practice missile electronically scores with precise data for evaluation. Upon completion of the mission, the target is directed to a pre-selected area where parachute recovery is commanded. The drag chute deploys immediately upon command or automatically upon loss of command control radio carrier signal. The main parachute is reefed in to reduce initial deployment shock. Upon descent through 15,000 feet altitude, reefing line cutters sever the line and permit the canopy to open to its full diameter. At approximately 16 feet per second, the Firebee is lowered at a safe landing speed. Upon water or land impact, the parachute is automatically released to prevent dragging and possible target damage. Styrofoam flotation blocks and watertight fuselage compartments keep the target afloat, awaiting retrieval. The floating Firebee is located, and with the aid of a lifting hook, is picked up by a helicopter for return to the target services base. By reducing retrieval time to a minimum and carefully decontaminating exposed components, saltwater corrosion damage is avoided. The engine is immersed in a water displacement compound, and the drone is disassembled and completely rinsed with fresh water. Following reassembly, a decal is added to indicate another flight, and the target is prepared for its next mission. Meanwhile, aboard ship, an analysis of this realistic test is conducted, establishing another operational readiness evaluation.